Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my December Project Life spread, and it's going to be a little bit different. So my entire album this year, 2020, has been using Ali Edwards' Story by the Month kit. So everything looks pretty consistent, but today I'm actually going to be using Coco Daisy's Modern Memory Keepers kit, their Cranberry Rose kit for my December spread. And that's because I got my Ali Edwards kit and I looked at all the bits and pieces in there and it's really adorable, and I thought I could actually just use that for my my December daily. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use Cranberry Rose in my Project Life album, and I'm going to use Ali Edwards kit over in my December daily 6x8 album. So that's what I'm doing this year. And another thing that's different about this month's spread is that I'm only doing my the left side of my Project Life layout today. And that's because my right side, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some stories of New Year's. And obviously it's not New Year's yet, so I don't have those photos or stories to tell. So as the month goes on, I will go ahead and do the right side of the spread. So for now, I'm focusing on the left, and I've got some pictures here of just our day-to-day life. Nothing super Christmassy, because I figure I will save the more festive photos for my December daily album. It's always tough for me doing Project Life spread in December, because a lot of the stories and a lot of the things that I'm doing are already going to be covered in my December daily album. So it's kind of tough choosing photos for my Project Life spread. So these photos don't have anything really to do with Christmas. There's some photos of my son taking a nap. He was so tuckered out that day, he just passed out, and I took a photo of him. And a coffee ride with my dog. She loves to come in the car with me. And a cute little photo of my daughter floating. She found out she can float in the bathtub, so that's her floating alongside the bubbles. Anyway, I've gone through some of the cards in the Cranberry Rose kit, and I'm trying to kind of select a color scheme here. And I'm working on this title card. I thought I would go ahead and use this calendar card as a title card up at the top. And so I've got a strip of paper, and I cut it into a little banner shape, and I'm going to write out the word December. But I'm not ultimately in love with this. So what I do is I grab some of the kit papers, and I think one of them was actually a folder that came in the Traveler's Notebook kit. That plaid one there is actually a folder. So I'm going to cut this down to 4x6, and a couple of the other papers I'm going to cut down to 4x6 as well, and kind of just audition them. And I'm going to make my own title card. Still sticking with that green alphabet though. I'm going to still do the green alpha and to spell out December. I end up going with that yellow wood grain. I thought it kind of tied in nicely to that watercolor 3x4 card that I have there in that pocket. So I'm just fussing with how I'm going to, if I want anything to kind of ground the word December. But what I end up doing is I'm actually going to ground that word, I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch along the word December. And also adding here to that yellow card, I'm going to add one of the labels, a black label, and then I'm going to stamp in the label a sentiment from I believe it was in the Modern Memory Keepers kit, that particular sentiment on that stamp. It says, "Stay cozy." So here you'll just have to watch me fuss with these letters here, trying to get them straight. It's always tricky. I really should invest in some tweezers for this. But yeah, once I get that on straight, I'm going to adhere the label and go ahead and stamp "Stay cozy" in the label, and staple that on with my tiny attacher, and that's all I'm going to do for that title card. It's going to be a really simple, easy breezy title card here, nothing too fussy. And then just going to go ahead and go through the kit die cuts and chipboard pieces and audition some of these sentiments and phrases on the photos and see what I like. Because that title card is so yellow, I'm looking for a way to tie that yellow in throughout the rest of the spread. So when I'm pulling out my embellishments, I'm specifically looking for things that are yellow, because that little watercolor card there, it has some yellow and pink. So also looking for ways to incorporate pink. So pink and yellow is what I'm focusing on here. So pulling out some of the kit embellishments and just playing around and having fun. I end up going with some of these little chipboard hearts, and I'll put those on the photo of my son sleeping. And I'm going to take one of the word phrases from the sticker kit, the Memory Keeper sticker kit from Coco Daisy, and pop it up on some foam dots. It says so cozy or stay cozy. I think it's so cozy. And I love those stickers because they have a very slight splatter on them, and the splatter is actually the same yellow as the title card. So I thought that really tied in nicely. So on that photo of my coffee in the car, there's a white phrase strip and it says, "When in doubt, coffee helps." And I really wanted to use that on the photo, but it ultimately doesn't stick, and I ended up taking it off. I don't know if it was maybe just too long, or maybe I'm just looking for a different color. Maybe just if it was yellow, maybe that would have worked out for me. I love the sentiment, but it just wasn't right for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And I'm playing around with that 3x4 card. I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in the center of it because I don't want to just leave it plain. I find that while the watercolor is gorgeous, I want something in the center. And then I also want to put something in that negative space of the photo of my daughter floating in the bathtub. I just find that negative space is such a great way to add either journaling or there's just room for embellishing. So when I am able to use a lot of embellishments in the kit on a spread, I go ahead and do it because otherwise I would be just drowning in die cut pieces, right? So looking for something to go there and also for that 3x4 card. So what I'm going to end up doing here is making a little switcheroo on these cards. And I'm doing this because that hot pink sentiment I put on the photo of myself, like I said, it's very hot pink. And the 3x4 watercolor card also has pink down at the bottom. And I noticed they were sort of pooling up together on the right side of the spread, when really I want to integrate pink throughout the page instead of just focus on one area. So once I separated those two pieces from each other, I like the look of it a lot better. And so now I'm committing to what I'm going to put in the center of that watercolor card. And this circular die cut says, "This is us hanging around." And I thought that couldn't be more perfect for this spread because these photos aren't really of us doing anything productive. It's just us hanging about, kind of being a little lazy. So that worked out well. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that up on some foam dots for some dimension. And then I've added a chipboard circle up on the photo of my daughter. And then I'm going to scatter around these little chipboard hearts throughout the spread to kind of keep some consistency. So I'm going to finish off the spread by taking that favorite moments 4x6 card over to my typewriter and typing up my journaling. And I'm just going to journal about how December has been more of a slow month for us, and we just kind of been lazing around and hanging around home, and how we've been loving to go on car rides to get coffee and bringing the dogs along, things like that. So after I staple all these embellishments down, I'm calling this layout good. And like I said, I'll be back to do the right side of my spread later on in the month with some New Year's stories. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll go ahead and insert still images of the spread at the end of the video. Bye, guys.